Nomfundo Bester and Tyhulu had a romance that began with a deception and concluded with her murder. The court testimony provides the only information about their relationship. Even then, it is primarily based on Bester's story, which may contain some fabrications. Bester had visited the BMW dealership in Santon in early 2011 to purchase a new BMW 1 Series, and Tyhulu was there to sell automobiles. Her age was 26. Though he most likely didn't use his own name, Bester did tell her that he was producing a TV program and that she would be a great lead actress. He did not, of course, disclose that he had recently been released from prison for fraud. He was residing in Durban at the time, while she continued to live in Johannesburg. Even though there was about 600 kilometers separating them, the two communicated frequently by phone and text. 8 months after their first meeting in early September 2011, Tyhulu gave Bester a call to inform him of her new employment, which would begin in October. With the promise of employing her in a picture shoot, Bester made the decision to transport her to Cape Town before then. On September 19th, the pair took a plane to Cape Town, where they made reservations at the 5-star One and Only, where a nightly rate ranges from R13000 to R36000. They spent 2 nights there. The pair arrived at the posh Sunset Beach Estates Roman retreat on the 21st. They got into a furious fight that night over Bester seeing one of his ex-girlfriends. Even though Bester was still playing the field, Tyhulu believed that she and Bester were exclusive. They had a fight and then went to bed. When she awoke at 2 in the morning, Bester was threatening her with a knife and demanding that she give him her laptop and phone. Then he lifted the knife and pounced on her as she was lying in bed. Tyhulu attempted to remove the knife from his grasp by kicking and fighting against him. They engaged in combat. The struggle came to an abrupt end. With the knife in her chest and blood dripping onto the blanket, she lay face down. Bester fastened her t-shirt by tying her hands behind her back. He insisted on knowing her laptop's password. He left the room 5 hours later at 7 in the morning, with a suitcase that included Tyhulu's cell phone and laptop. He informed the guest house owner that she was still asleep and that she shouldn't be bothered till 2 p.m. After requesting a lift to the heart of Cape Town, he booked a flight back to Durban that evening. The guest house's owners started to worry about not hearing from Tyhulu at around 9 o'clock at night. Her lifeless, bloody body was there as they walked into the room. Bester was being sought for by the KwaZulu-Natal Police Unit for psychologically motivated crimes by September 2011. He was now wanted for assault, robbery, rape, and murder. It was well known that he was pulling off numerous con games under various aliases, most of which targeted women in the entertainment business. There were up to 13 aliases found. Bester was thought to have over 100 different cell phone numbers, which made it challenging to locate him. He was also a suspect in a number of minor offenses that occurred across several cities. The police hunt for the man who was called the Facebook Rapist began to be covered by the media on a regular basis. People all around the nation who had met Bester or been conned by him were reporting crimes and providing tips to the police on a daily basis. Bester's Facebook accounts reappeared with new names. It was impossible to find out where he was. Bester once wrote, "Catch me if you can. Why are people bothering me?" on one of his Facebook sites. However, he was captured. Finally, on October 6, 2011, he was taken into custody by East Rand Police in the Alberton region. The case's investigating officer went to retrieve him and drive him back to Durban after he had stolen and crashed a car. Bester was characterized as incredibly neat, well-groomed, well-spoken, and well-dressed by a witness to the police activities. He made an appearance in the Durban Regional Court the following week to answer to 2 rape and 2 robbery charges. A guilty plea was given on all 4 offenses. The 25-year-old revealed to the judge that he is a father of 3 kids. These said children's names and whereabouts are unknown. Bester said that all he wanted to do was rob the rape victims. He described how the first victim, who had replied to the FHM advertisement, was taking a shower at their hotel while he went to the adjacent mall to purchase duct tape and a knife. Upon his return, he bound her with the tape and threatened her with the knife. Upon seeing the complainant's legs as I was leaving, I had a strong sexual urge. I had succeeded in my original goal of robbing the plaintiff. In addition, he intended
told the court,
to rob his
"I was
second
driven by
victim,
lust after
whom he
seeing the
claimed his
complainant's
girlfriend
body,
had
and I then
introduced to
proceeded
him.
to rape her."
This claimed girlfriend's identity is still a mystery. I stayed at a guest house in Westville with the complainant, and that evening we went to the pavilion for dinner. By then, we had developed romantic feelings for one another and started kissing. The night before, we slept together. Taking her watch, credit cards, and cell phone, he raped her while holding her at knife point. Bester begged the court for a lighter sentence, arguing that his circumstances had forced him to commit crimes. He claimed to have lived in poverty with his alcoholic grandmother and to have never met his birth mother. In order to support myself, I turned to crime. Either you pass away or you devise a strategy. In addition, he stated that he had experienced sexual assault. I had surgery on my behind after being raped by my grandmother's friend who caused me pain. He said that a bottle of soapy water had been pushed into his anus and that he had been gang raped while incarcerated. He presented the court with proof of mistreatment while incarcerated, but the file had no indication of rape. In addition, he said that when his grandmother passed away and he was forced to live in a squatter camp with his pals, he was once more raped, this time by a man who had pledged to take care of him, but had kept him imprisoned in his home for days. Throughout the court proceeding, he broke down in tears multiple times. I am aware of my horrible actions. This isn't my actual self. I'd like the chance to put things right. He was given a 25-year prison sentence by Magistrate Sharon Marks for each of the 2 rape convictions. For each of the 2 charges of armed robbery with aggravating circumstances, he received a sentence of an additional 25 years with 5 years suspended. Later, after he successfully appealed to the Pietermaritzburg High Court, the sentence was lowered to a total of 30 years. In August of 2012, Bester admitted to killing Nomfundo Tyhulu in front of the Western Cape High Court. He told the court, "I am entirely responsible for what I have done, hoping to earn a less punishment. In Cape Town, I didn't really know what I was doing. Nomfundo and her family are people I've known for 4 years. I find it hard to comprehend that I killed her. She had faith in me. She stood with me in Durban when I was accused of rape. She descended to assist me. She was a companion. I apologize for what transpired." But the court was unmoved by his testimony. For robbery with aggravating circumstances, he was given a second life term in addition to 25 years in prison. The fact of the matter is that, in your own version, this was nothing other than a sequence of brutal and callous acts which deprived this young woman of her life, Judge Judy Clote stated in her ruling. It also took away her presence from her loved ones. Given these facts, it is reasonable to assume that the general public will view this court's punishment as a reflection of how seriously offenses of this kind are taken. There is no sentence that is too small. Bester never had a full trial since he had entered a guilty plea to his crimes.